Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MotoAmerica AMA FIM North American Road Race Championship, round 9 of 10 for 2018. We're at the MotoAmerica Championship of New Jersey at New Jersey Motorsports Park, Millville, New Jersey. I'm Greg White. Sitting alongside me, Jason Pridmore, who, well, I think we're pretty much the only dry people in this entire race facility. It has been absolutely ripping down rain all day long since we got here. JP, this is going to make for some interesting racing if you're unaware of what's going on. We're starting these races early. Jason, let's take a look at the track map.
Let's have a look at it, Greg. Turn 1 is the one that we've been talking about all weekend, and you can see where the start-finish line is there. You come down into Turn 1, very wet. Up over the top of Turn 2 into a very tricky Turn 3 chicane. Up over a little wheelie hill as you come out of Turn 3A, I guess you'd call it. Turn 4, very fast. Not going to be so fast today. Into Turn 5, we've seen a lot of incidents there. Left side of the tire needs to get warm, and it's really hard to put heat in it on this track. Turn 6, fast downhill right into Turn 7, where we saw a bunch of little incidents there as well. 8, 9, all very, very treacherous because it's all uphill, going through, going to be one gear there today. In through Turn 10, through the S's to Turn 12, fast Turn 12 onto the front straightaway. And just looking out the window right now, Greg, I'm glad that the rain has kind of gotten a little bit better. About 25 minutes ago, it was absolutely bucketing down, and I was a little worried, but I'm seeing Ashton Yates now pull up to his grid spot on the front row at pole position. We didn't see anybody out there standing in his spot, but you can have a look at the grid there, and on pole, Ashton Yates, Renzo Ferreira, then Alex Dumas. A lot of championship implications coming up in this race. Kevin Almeida, our winner from yesterday, Toby Kamsick, and Jackson Blackman will round out row 2. Row 3, Jay Newton, another podium finisher yesterday, Corey Ventura and Jamie Astudillo. Then we have Gavin Anthony, Mark Edwards, and Damian Jigalov back there in row 4. Row 5, Gage Reese, Jarrett Nassani, and Dylan Deutschlander. Joe Blasius, Sean Barsky, and Trevor Standish will be on row 6. A little further back we go. Hunter Dunham, Nate Minster, Teague Hobbs in row 7. Row 8, Ryan Deutschlander, Dallas Daniels, and Jake Leclerc from Canada. And then Benjamin Ferris, Tyler Whistle, and Dominic Doyle will round out our field. And these guys this morning, when they went out, the track conditions were quite a bit worse than they were yesterday. Pretty much all morning long, Greg, the lap times from class to class have been between 5 to 7 seconds off.
Yeah, meaning slower than they were in yesterday's rain races, which of course are significantly slower than dry, which means that the total race time increases when that happens. So MotoAmerica made the decision to do a couple of things today. Number one is they moved the schedule up and they compressed the schedule. So normally this race starts at 1 p.m. local time. The start time is now scheduled for 12:15 p.m. And then Supersport, which usually starts at 2:30 in the afternoon, has moved up to 1, and Motul Superbike now at 2 instead of 3:30. So what's going to happen is you're watching this right now on beIN Sports Connect. We are going to end this race, get out of here, and then we're going to start our broadcast on the linear network right away. That'll be airing in its normal time slot, which would be 2 o'clock East time. So we're going to be getting those races done, because there is a tremendous cell that's supposed to come in here and really start to dump water all over this Millville, New Jersey area.
MotoAmerica's done a good job. As you get a chance to look at our championship points, what a mess it was yesterday between the top 3 there. Dumas, Yates, and Corey Ventura all crashed out of the race. Really, the other 2 in second and third crashed out before Alex. He made a very uncharacteristic mistake, crashing himself out. So the championship points things have not changed. Now, interesting note, we saw Ashton come up to the grid very late. He did not go out for morning warm-up in either one of the classes this morning. He didn't go out in the 600. He didn't go out in the 300, the Liqui Moly class here. So this is going to be his first time seeing the track. And I think, Greg, you and I have been watching it this morning. There's a lot more standing water. So it's nice to see that the rain has let up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, now we got 3 races left in this. Alex has a 64-point lead. And now it's just time to really got to kind of watch the guys around you. And I think in this condition, you just got to put yourself up in the front and get away from the melees behind you, because in these conditions, we know anything can happen for sure. So see a couple grid spots that are open right now. I'm looking for Toby Kamsick, and I'm not seeing it, Greg.
They're moving some of the riders around.
Jigalov's getting moved
at the moment to get back into grid spots. So looks like someone made a mistake, and so they're gonna have to start from the back of the grid.
Yeah, they're putting Damien at the back. I don't know. Is Toby back there? I can't see him.
So we're getting ready for the start of this race. And by the way, this Liqui Moly Junior Cup has been reduced to 8 laps because of the conditions. And then coming up right after this, we're going to have our Super Sport followed by Motul Super Bike.
It's just so important when you're on those first 2 rows to try to get the best start you can and get yourself kind of some clean air, clean space up in the front. So let's see how our front row gets off the line.
Time for race number 2, Liqui Moly Junior Cup from New Jersey Motorsports Park. And we're off and racing, and a good start from the front row. Well, Alex got swallowed up a little bit.
Kevin Almeida, again, the guy who won yesterday, got himself another great start, but it looks like it's going to be Renzo leading the way down into turn 1 right now. Renzo Ferreira leads it, but look at Kevin. Look, see the speed he carried through there? Look, and Renzo makes a kind of a mistake coming out of there. Jackson Blackman jumps up there as well. So now you got Jay Newton, Kevin Almeida, and Jackson Blackman leading the way as they head down into turn 3.
Looking good for these podium finishers yesterday. The Monkey Moto AGV Sport team having a go at it, filling the podium for the first time. An all Yamaha affair, and now leading the way in this one is the number 98, Jay Newton.
Where do you go from yesterday for that team? What a tremendous job they did yesterday. All 3 of their riders getting up on the podium. And, you kind of think to yourself, where do you go from there, Greg?
I don't know. I mean, just shuffle the order around of your racers that get on the podium?
What you hope. That's what you hope. But all 3 of those guys are back up at the front again. And we're seeing little gaps and things behind it. And just trying to see, is that Jamie Astudillo? She's in there in 6th, I believe. Yeah, so she got a better start. And it looked like Alex and Ashton were behind her. I was just looking to see if I could find where Corey was in this deal.
So the point situation in terms of the championship is 64. There's only 3 riders with a mathematical possibility of even winning this championship. It's Alex Dumas, Ashton Yates, and Corey Ventura. Ventura 71 points back, so that would be a Hail Mary. As much as really 64 points for Ashton Yates, but this race, Jason, in these conditions can throw anything at it.
Anything can happen. And right now, the 3 guys that celebrated on the podium, Greg, it looks like those are the 3 guys leading again. So they must have got a good pep talk from old David yesterday, saying what a great thing it was for his team, and now they're just going to go out and go 1, 2, 3 across the line right now. Big lead for those guys. Then we got Jackson Blackman and Renzo Ferreira a little further back, and there's a couple of our championship guys. Alex Dumas, but just behind him is Corey Ventura, and then looks like we got Joe Blasius, who's come from a long way back, Greg, I believe. Where did Joe start this race? Yeah, I think he was pretty far back.
Yeah, right there, 16,
from row 6. So Joe Blasius with a big move gets himself up to 9th. Great first lap.
There's our pole sitter, Ashton Yates.
He came across at 17th. He's got Sean Varsky just in front of him. So this is the first time Ashton's been on the track. Now, you got the first 3 guys all on the same team, so I'm sure there's a little bit of panic in that little garage or that pit lane spot right now.
Yeah, you can see that Kevin Almeida, the number 14, just lost that position, and he was looking over to the left to make sure that he had room to move over.
They're looking at each other now. Now they all know all 3 of us are out front doing what we need to do. And
if you're a team owner right now, there's a couple things. You're excited, but you're also nervous, right? Because you don't want this thing to end up like some races.
Oh, there you go.
There's the first
just
victim.
Like that. And it happens so fast. So I think that's Mark Edwards, isn't it?
Number 26, Mark Edwards.
And he didn't really look like he was doing anything wrong, but you can see it probably snapped off a clip-on.
Yeah, he looked at the bar and could see there was nothing there. So Mark, unfortunately, won't repeat his podium appearance yesterday, so that leaves it to these 2 out front at the moment. Jackson Blackman in 4th. Last time we saw that group, it was Blackman and Ferreira and Jamie Astudillo in the mix. So Edwards, unfortunately for him, he'll walk away from this one, but these are those conditions, and you can see that the rain kind of comes and goes all day today. It comes in heavy waves and then it lightens up, but it's still falling.
Yeah, you can see it just looked like he was just getting in there a little bit faster than what he needed to be, because Jay Newton had already started his turn in and Mark had not. So he just lost the front under heavy braking there. Glad to see he's up and okay though.
Absolutely. His leathers, AGV Sport leathers, doing the job for him in this one. That's snap-on though on his motorcycle, and he is out. So there's Alex Dumas, our points leader.
Oh, Jay Blasius just goes underneath Corey Ventura. So Alex is just in front of these 2 guys right now, and I'm sure that what Alex wants is just a little bit of clear space, not get too racy with anybody after the little incident that was made yesterday. And you can see Blasius wants to go forward. He's got pace right now on these guys. And look at this mess we got going into turn 1. Wow.
You can see the live championship on the right side, and all Alex has to do at this point is come away with 50 points in his hand, 50 or more, as the rain starting to come down hard again.
Leading that group there, Damien Jigloff. So he came from the last row, and he's got himself into 15th, maybe up to 14th now. I see him racing with Nate Minster and Dylan Deutschlander, all in this group.
Such tricky conditions.
Yep. Yeah, it's really tricky. And you know what? There was, boy, Greg, when we were younger at this age, we didn't get a chance to really go race in the rain like this. This is great practice, because if any of these guys want to maybe get a chance to go overseas or do any of that kind of stuff, they've got to get used to racing in this stuff here.
Yeah, because
see Ashton's just being really careful today.
Yeah, you can see the body position too of Ashton. Obviously, demandingly not as aggressive as he normally is because of the constant search for traction.
Yep.
Alex Dumas letting a few of the riders kind of get away from him. 24.
Joe got through.
Joe, yep.
He got through on Alex, and so has Corey now. So,
but again, if Alex finishes right behind Corey, no threat in this championship because of the amount of points he has. The key thing for Alex Dumas at this point is he's got to finish the race.
Yep.
Just get some points in him, you know.
Yeah. I'm going to be looking to see kind of what his pit board is telling him. And
Hunter Dunham behind Alex Dumas on the number 20. So Dumas in 8th spot. Last time by, he was in 6th. So he's losing it in a hurry, but part of the championship strategy for him. 24, Joe Blasius doing a great job marching forward. 155.4. Kevin Olmedo, 52.8 out front.
Wow.
He had passed Jay Newton.
Yeah, he loves this stuff. And you can see now Corey Ventura, he's kind of behind Jamie now as they go down into the turn 3 area. Renzo Ferreira is trying to close that gap on Jackson. Jackson running 3rd at the moment. And Renzo, if you remember, crashed out of 2nd place on his run to the line in turn 10 yesterday. Slid off. But you can see the rain's coming down so hard right now.
Hard,
yeah. It really is coming down.
And, you know, and when you're looking at the surface of the racetrack, one of the things to keep in mind is if you can see nice, shiny black asphalt and no water on it, that's the optimal conditions for these rain tires, because those, you know, blocks of rubber can get through that and get grip. It's that standing water that always becomes the big issue, or those patches, those really shiny patches that you see on the ground. So these riders don't have the entire racetrack to race on like they normally would. You've got to pick and choose your lines really carefully, especially if you think you're going to make an aggressive move on the brakes, or, I mean, out-driving someone in these conditions is really difficult.
It's really hard to be aggressive in this stuff. You really got to let things kind of play out in front of you, and it's very difficult to lead races like this because the conditions, especially when the rain's coming down as hard as it is, it continuously changes. So yesterday we noticed, I believe our lap times in this race yesterday, Greg, were in the 47s to 8s, somewhere in there. And these guys are doing 52s right now, so you can tell the conditions are quite a bit worse than yesterday. But both these two guys right now look so solid up in the front.
Number 14, leading the way, Kevin Olmedo out of El Salvador on the Monkey Moto AGV Sport entry. Jay Newton, 98 out of Montgomery, Texas. Same team, Monkey Moto AGV Sport. They lost their teammate earlier on in this one, Mark Edwards out of California. So these two right now have a 1-2 podium finish in them. To be decided between them who's going to stand on top, and Jackson Blackman right now in 3rd spot behind them.
They got 14 seconds on the next 3, and Joe Blasius, the last time through, has caught the battle for 2nd and 3rd already. Wow. He runs a 53.5 that last lap. Put that in perspective, it's only a second off of what the 2 leaders are running right now. So to come from the 6th row and now possibly challenge for a podium.
In the dry in qualifying, Joe Blasius only qualified 2.7 seconds slower than Ashton Yates, but that was a time that put him all the way back in 16th spot. Yeah. So, you know, we call rain the great equalizer for a reason. If you don't quite have a good dry setup or just don't have the pace in the dry, sometimes you come out in these conditions, something clicks with feel, with a bike setup, with just good line choice, and next thing you know, you're in contention for a podium or possibly a win. No,
that's exactly right. And we always, in just about every race that we watch, we always see somebody that maybe we weren't expecting to be up there that's up there. And right now, boy, these guys got the rain setup going, and they're going faster again this lap. Even though I feel like the conditions have gotten a little bit worse, they're still going faster. 52.1 that time for Kevin as he comes across, 52.2 for Jay. So they just continue to keep lowering the pace. And We'll look back here in a minute and see our battle for third.
52-1 in these conditions.
Crazy. Really
on these Liqui Moly Junior Cup bikes. Yamaha R3s. Great look at the eyes of our race leader, Kevin Olmedo. It just couldn't be open. One thing you're not seeing him do is blink.
No,
I know I've had races where I've gotten off the bike and my eyes are so dry in the rain because you just like focus is crazy. Look at the eyes.
Yeah, and he goes down, and Jay almost goes down with him. Jay almost went down. He did everything he could. Now Jay has got himself a huge gap, 17 seconds back, and that's what happens. You know, the greatest thing is to have confidence in this. The best part is to have confidence in this stuff, but man, if you get a little bit overconfident, it just takes nothing. And you see Kevin, he just tipped into turn 5 there. And watch this, Greg. He just tips in, and you're going to see the front just kind of let go. And it happens so quickly. And look at Jay. Jay's outside foot actually came off the peg, so he did a good job of turning away. Watch. You can see he lost the front as well.
Yeah.
But he was able to save it. So now Jay has no reason to push on any harder. He's got a 14-second lead, actually 17-second lead with it's going to be 2 laps by this time coming through. And that battle for second now is going to be between Jackson and Joe Blasius and Renzo Ferreira, and they are all battling because Blasius has caught them.
So far, Jason, we've had 5 different race winners in this series so far this season. Jay Newton in the position he's in could be our 6th. He hasn't won a race yet, but he's working on it.
And here's our battle right now for that spot that we were talking about. And it looks like Corey Ventura. Is it Corey on the back end of that one, Greg?
Looks like it, 64.
Yep. But
so there's the 24, Joe Blasius on the Toon Racing R3 out of Michigan. He is absolutely shredding this field. So
Corey's on a fast lap to catch these guys this lap. So he's got by Jamie, I believe. And now he is just doing everything he can to catch.
Jay has now moved up to second place.
54.5 for Corey Ventura. So he has now got himself in that battle for third as well.
Not going faster than our leader, Jay Newton, so he's not able to chip away at the 19.2 second lead, and there's only 2 laps remaining in this one. But, you know, for the number 24 rider, I mean, this is going to be a spectacular result for him. I'm looking on my sheet right now. Joe Blasius is in 19th spot in the championship, and Jason, so far this season, his best finish was yesterday when he finished in 5th spot. But before that for Joe, the best finish he had all year was 11th. Yeah, so to go right to second spot is going to be fantastic for the Toon Racing team.
He's on that Toon bike, yes, exactly. And that'll be a good result for them. Corey Ventura slides underneath Renzo Ferreira as they go in and through turn 5. Now he's right up behind Jackson Blackman. So look at this, just
incredible,
just a mess. Again, going into turn 1, we're getting a good look at Ashton Yates, who, in fairness, he didn't, like I said, Greg, he didn't go out this morning, and he's just trying to get through this race as well. Here's a replay of our start. A lot of jostling at the beginning of this race, and Renzo was able to kind of lead him into turn 1, but then it was almost like he missed a gear or something as he came out of turn 1 because 3 guys shot by him before they even got to turn 2. Look at Jay Newton just going past Jamie Astudillo there, putting himself underneath Jackson Blackman.
I like Jackson Blackman's, like he's all elbows out, knee out. He's just like, good luck getting by me right now.
Here we go. White flag is out now for our race leader.
As he takes a look over at his pit board to see what the story is. So Jay Newton, just with 2.2 miles to navigate to grab his first victory in the Liqui Moly Junior Cup class. And in these conditions, it is not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. Even if you slow down, you've got to keep your concentration. And Blasius still leads the way. Jackson Blackman, Corey Ventura, of course, has moved up past Renzo Ferreira.
That's going to be a big battle for second for sure, and Joe's just got to keep his focus forward, and you know, getting that first podium is something that he's really looking for. And all the while we see Alex here going into turn 1 right now, and I'm sure it's on his board that he's got a big gap. He's done what he's had to do today, just try to get through this day, get through this race.
The only rider ahead of him in the championship is Corey Ventura, but you're talking about 4th to 7th place, so the difference in that points is only let's see, 4th, 13, 7th place, 9. So you're talking just about 4 points. No implications in the championship at all if Alex finishes in this position.
Corey's going to have a go here, I think, because he was able to go up underneath Renzo last time, and he does the exact same thing to Jackson. He puts himself up into that 5th spot, or into that 3rd spot now in turn 5. And now he's going to try to go after Joe just in front of him.
So Corey doing everything possible to try to keep this championship alive. But once again, 50 points by Alex Dumas. And he will stand on the podium with his #1 plate, his first national championship. But that still has yet to be decided, as we still have half a lap to go and anything can happen in these conditions. Jay Newton, number 98, out front as we look at the battle for second and third spot. There he is.
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Our cameras.
You know what?
Our camera guys are out there in these conditions. It's horrible.
And oftentimes, what you're seeing on the camera lens is sometimes what you see through the visor on a helmet too.
Yep,
especially if you're in that group.
What a weekend for this guy.
Jay Newton coming to the line, and he will take victory. The checkered flag, race number 2 at the Liqui Moly Junior Cup race. Congratulations to the Monkey Moto AGV Sport
Here we go, the big battle for second. Corey did catch Blasius. Is he going to be able to draft him? Oh, he drafts him at the line. So Corey Ventura finishes second. Joe Blasius, congrats on your first podium.
Great job, Joe.
And I'm sure if you'd have told him, hey, you might lose second by a half a wheel, but you're going to stand on the podium. And here we go, Greg.
Here he is, 2018 Liqui Moly Junior Cup National Champion, riding for KTM Orange Brigade, JP43 Training. Put your hands together for Alex Dumas. What a ride for him. After yesterday's disaster, to gather it back up, finish solidly 7th place. Now that national championship is his. He'll have 2 more races to just let it fly on that KTM as we anticipate what kind of future this young rider has out of Quebec, Canada. So congratulations to Jay Newton and Alex Dumas, as we just have had another new race winner, a new national champion, and another new podium finisher. So, you know, with Joe Blasius, his first podium this year. Good job.
Boy, still watching all these guys come across the line. It is absolutely pouring.
Here's a little video we put together for Alex Dumas, Jason, and what a year he's had.
He's had an incredible year, Greg, and he's done a good job. You know, the kid's a very intelligent young man, and we got a lot of those in this class. But Alex has a way of just always trying to make things good. You never see him in a really horrible mood. He's always a pretty happy kid. That makes it fun. And for me personally, huge congratulations to him. I've known him since he was 11 years old. Him and his dad are great people. They got Chris Fillmore on their side down there, Uli as well, and the whole family are amazing people. So congrats to all of them.
So for Alex Dumas, he sits on 8 race wins. He's got 1 second-place finish and 1 third-place finish on the season. So that is 10 races on the podium in 15. And that is enough to collect points that no one can touch him in this MotoAmerica Liqui Moly Junior Cup National Championship. But for this rider right here, Jay Newton's always going to remember this 8-lap shortened race, now done and dusted. All right. So for Jay Newton, Corey Ventura, and Joe Blasius, they will stand in that order on the podium. The fastest lap of the race to Kevin Olmedo, who had an early exit on lap number 5, a 1:52.1. Here's confirmation of the points. 50 points is all Alex Dumas needed, and he got it. Congratulations to him. There's still a battle for second spot, though, between Corey Ventura and Ashton Yates. Ventura with Ashton Yates' finish. I'm looking to see Ashton. Is Ashton?
I don't think he was on. I don't think he was top 20 today.
Yeah,
Greg.
top 20. So out of the points. So Corey Ventura leapfrogs Ashton Yates into second spot in that championship. Jay Newton hangs out in 4th spot. You can see Jamie Asadio. So great results for Alex Dumas. On back through the rest of the field. With that podium finish, Joe Blasius moves from 19th up into the 16th spot. Well, for Liqui Moly Junior Cup, still 2 more races remaining in this season. So 2 more chances for more podium finishers. And here is your new national champion, the 2018 Liqui Moly Junior Cup #1 plate, Alex Dumas. Thanks for joining us here on beIN Sports Connect. And we are going to transition right to our linear show coming up. For Jason, I'm Greg. Bye-bye.